I'm Dan Dawson. Chris Murphy alongside me in the commentary box.
First leg, it's Ulf to throw first. Game on!
Yeah, thanks, Dan. And what a way to get us underway with Steve Beaton on the hockey. 21 years since he was crowned world champion at the Lakeside, taking on Ulf Ceder, who has been
96.
around a while as well. He was playing in the Video World Championship and the World Masters around that time when Steve Beaton
60.
enjoyed his finest hour. He'll be the strong favourite in this first match.
Yeah, it's a Euro Tour debut for Ulf Ceder, who looks a bit like Jurgen Klopp and sounds like something from Lord of the Rings.
140.
Steve Beaton, a former European Tour winner, of course.
140.
Still got it. Beaton has been around for so long, but he's still ranked number 25 in the world. He's very capable of playing darts that could go and win one of these tournaments.
Well, he showed that in the qualifying event for this tournament and next week in Gibraltar. 60. One of 8 players to do the double and book his place in both of these European Tour events. Now then, Ulf. But he went for the treble 18, which suggests he would have gone for the bullseye.
65.
But he ended up scoring 65 and leaving 99.
Started so well, that visit. Tailed off rather dramatically.
43.
But he's got a couple of visits to see off this 99, so no real damage done, and that helps him out. Double 16 he wants then.
83.
Now we'll come back and have a look at the double 8, Ulf Ceder, who's won 3 games to qualify for this event in the Nordic qualifier. Beats Marco Cantilli, Magnus Karras and Kim Viljanen, who's been dominating that Scandinavian tour.
Yeah, not a bad hit list. Can he hit double 8?
No score. Steve, you require 90.
Well, he's unlucky there. All 3 darts on the outside of the wire. Beaton unable to
58.
punish.
Ulf, you require 60.
And Ceder, who seems to launch his dart from the middle of his forehead, will get another go.
That's 5 darts missed for the leg.
Game shown.
There won't be a 6th missed. Double 4 comes to his rescue.
To throw first.
Beaton seems to be one of those sort of hit and miss type players, doesn't he? When it's on, it's very nice to watch. But you could see in that leg, Ceder was allowed to miss loads of darts at double, and Beaton didn't get one. Yeah.
100.
Well, it's always a tricky one. The Glass Palace, you can see, it's a big venue. You've got a running track going around the outside of it. It's quite 95. Open. Big glass roof we've got here. On this Friday afternoon, which is not as busy as it's going to be over the course of this weekend. We'll have thousands in here over the course of this weekend. It's a bit of a strange atmosphere walking up on stage. It's not as loud and noisy as it's going to be. Your first game on, your favourite against the guy making his debut.
137.
There's pressure on Beaton to get through this round and set up a meeting with Cristo Reyes, the number 16 seed, who's playing some excellent darts at the minute, Cristo. Look at this from Ceder. First maximum of the HappyBet European Darts Grand Prix.
Steve, you require 129.
Well, will Beaton cancel it out? He won't take out the 129. And Ceder has given himself an opportunity to break the throw 79. By virtue of that max.
Hope you require 81.
Should get a dart, some kind of double. 12 would leave the ball. Didn't even think about the treble.
56. Steve,
not far 50. Away for Ulf Ceder. Would have been a 12-dart leg. Steve Beaton to level things up. Double 16 he wants.
Game
and double 16 he gets.
Steve Beaton, 3rd leg. Ulf to throw first. Game on. $140.
Well, it's looking like Ceder is going to give Beaton a good game.
100.
Interesting throwing style, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it is.
100.
And although it is coming from above his eye line, it looks like, it does look relatively straight.
96.
People who throw in all kinds of different ways. Seems a very strange guys from Scandinavia throwing.
I wonder if it's to do with the fact that he wears glasses, because he does seem to bring the dart back further than the glasses, so it doesn't...
97.
Maybe a way to combat that affecting him.
Well, he almost hits himself in the forehead with it, doesn't he?
There'd be an imprint of a flight at the end of the match. If it goes all 11 legs.
59.
We see Jordi Mayweather hit himself in the nose with his flight when he throws. But I suppose in a way, if you are bringing it back and literally brushing your forehead with the dart,
59.
you know you're never going to overextend with the ball. You can't take it any further. You take your eye out.
60.
Certainly a contrast in styles.
105.
Silky smooth Steve Beaton, but Ulf looking at 105. Double 16. The ton plus finish.
Game
and there it
shown
is.
the third leg. On Ceder, full flag Steve to throw first.
Well, Ulf doesn't play that much stuff. He's not a regular on the
77.
Scandinavian Darts Corporation circuit. He turned up, he played a couple of tournaments in Sweden. He played a couple of these qualifiers and obviously made it through here. But that's the only tournaments he's played this year. Last year he played one of the SDC things in Finland, his home country. He won one the year before that. But it's not as if he's an active participant in pro darts. But he's evidently got enough to be going toe-to-toe with the former world champion and the number 25 in the world. And if anything, he's looked the better player in the opening 3.5 legs. And look at this. Ton 40.
121.
Followed by a 1-2-1.
Well, we saw in the last European Tour event, Justin Pike get caught cold in the very first match.
137.
He didn't even win a leg. Got beat 6-0 by a qualifier in the very first match.
Is that Daniel Larsson?
Yeah.
Yeah, another Nordic qualifier. It's good to see. It's the introduction of these two new qualifiers, one from the Nordic and Baltic region, one from the Eastern European region. And admittedly, Krzysztof Ratajski has dominated
59.
the Eastern European one. He's qualified for the first 6 of these.
140.
But he's won games already. So it's not as if they're just giving places at these tournaments out of charity for guys who aren't a threat, who aren't going to go and win. They've shown that they can be a danger.
Well, let's see if Steve Beaton
100. Steve, you require 170.
for this 170 combination. Pulls the first start low and faces the prospect of being broken here.
134.
Could recover it,
You require
but it
40.
could be in vain.
Double top then for the Finn.
Game shown the
Who
fourth
finishes
leg.
it very
On
well.
Ceder.
It is a breaker throw.
Fifth leg.
3-1 up,
first.
Ceder.
Game on.
Seen a number of players from Finland over the years. Jani Havisto looked like he was going to be an established dart player. I'm not even sure if he's playing darts anymore, Jani. Jarkko Kamula.
134. $57.
Petri Korto was a guy who came to the World Championship. He had a funny throwing style. He looked like he was hiding behind his darts. He held all 3 of them up in front of his face.
I remember that well. But it seems to be
59.
effective for Ulf Ceder.
It's certainly effective enough right now against Steve Beaton.
46.
And it's not that long ago that we had the qualifiers for these. It was only a week or so ago. In fact, exactly a week, wasn't it? So it's not like Steve Beaton, you know, he played some excellent darts to qualify for this and Gibraltar. However, the following 2 days, first round exits on the Pro Tour.
85.
Just kind of illustrates the point we were making earlier on, that it's
Some days it's good.
brilliant
Some
or
days
bad.
it ain't.
134.
But he has had a few quarterfinals on the Pro Tour this year. 3 in the UK Open qualifiers. 1 on the Pro Tour since then.
Well, Ceder's got his timing right so far in this match. And he's right on cue again.
180. 96. Hope you require 43.
So is it 3 for tops? Well, okay, treble 3. 9 scored, leaves double 17. But with Beaton on 168, surely the sensible shot is to split this and leave a double that you're happy with. And that's exactly what he's done. So double 12. And double 12 proves to be the right decision. Ceder, the debutant from Finland, is 4-1 up and 2 legs away from a place in the second round to face Cristo Reyes. He's the number 16 seed this weekend, Cristo, as Beaton has to settle for the ton 40. 16 seeded players entering the action on the Saturday as usual.
Just see a change in
100.
Steve Beaton's demeanour in the background there. It's all business now. All very serious, all smiles before going on stage and for the first few legs, but he
43.
knows that he's facing an uphill task in this one. He had to beat Ross Twell and Brendan Dolan to get here, Steve Beaton. But he's struggling to see off all Ceder, who hits a third max.
$60.
And he could look at the 25 here.
45.
Well, he stays up on the treble 20, and in the end, it's cost him because a single 5 doesn't get him to a finish. And Beaton should.
92.
Well, he's not thought there, has he? And that's a strange mistake for a man of his experience to make.
Yeah, I think that the dart was so good in the treble 18, he kind of just thought he'd follow it and didn't think that didn't realise that by hitting the single 18 he weren't going to leave the finish. If he'd thrown the dart there, he would have.
82.
And this may be another breaker throw and 5-1. And Steve Beaton may have come all the way over to Sindelfingen this weekend to only play 7 legs and go out in very first match up on the stage here as Ceder looks at double 9. Little shuffle across. And finds the target. It's another 15 dart leg. It's good stuff, this from Ulf Ceder. And Steve Beaton, well, I'm not sure he knows how he's going to turn this around.
Yeah, he's clinging on to the cliff edge at the moment. But the rock is crumbling around his fingers.
Ulf Ceder has hit 3 180s. He is currently averaging 98.27. See there, 3 15 darters and a 14 darter. It's only that first leg where Ceder missed 5 darts at double. I mean, had he taken it out first or second dart, he'd be averaging over 100. And you know, it would be a very, very efficient display. One of the best debuts on the European Tour we've ever seen. That, very impressive.
100.
Not bad for a bloke who only played 4 tournaments this year and a similar number last year.
There's certainly good value for this lead.
54.
But Beaton will know, and you see there, he's only had 2 darts at double, Steve Beaton.
85.
Beaton will know that whoever you come up against, whether you've come up against them before, whether this is just some guy who's come through a host nation qualifier and may never have been on the big stage, if you go and average in the mid-80s, which is what he's doing right now, Steve Beaton, in all likelihood, it's probably not going to be enough 45. To win you a game.
Well, this is true, and we joke about some of the draws that happen. You know,
61.
Stephen Bunting's been handed a clash with Adrian Lewis, and you think, oh, well, he could have got a Nordic and Baltic qualifier, for example. Well, he's got just as tough a game in Ulf Ceder.
Oh, certainly.
100. Steve, you require 158.
Well, the 158's not going to go. Beaton will be hoping that he gets another
95.
visit. It is not guaranteed, though. 145 to cap a stunning debut. Oof, not a million miles away.
$59. Steve, you require
He's left himself
63.
a 2 darter. So Beaton under pressure. Good first start. And lands the double 12.
7th leg. Steve
And it's a break for Beaton.
8 legs, Steve to throw first. Game on.
Well, the one thing to cling to for the bronzed Adonis is that when he is getting darts at double, he's proved very effective so far. He's 2 out of 3. Unfortunately, he's been outscored by the Finn, and that has meant he's only had 3 darts at double in the whole game. And he's got to earn himself at least 4 more if he's going to stay alive in the HappyBet European Darts Grand Prix.
And, of course, the mental battle for
5th.
Well, who will have come into it as an underdog, no pressure, now finds himself 1 leg from the finish line. How will that change his mentality?
Oh.
Well, he seems to be doing all right.
Scandinavians.
140.
Just cool, calm and collected.
$81.
And he's stolen the darts again from Beaton. Threatening the treble.
41.
Just the 41 scored. Advantage surrendered by Ceder.
135.
A good chunk out of his score. Although a level ton would get Ulf down to a finish first. And he should do that now, at least. At least.
140.
Even better. Ton 40 leaves a Shanghai finish for the match. He couldn't take out the 145 earlier on.
119.
But 120 for another 15 dart leg. Surely he's going to get a match dart here. He is. Tops. A superb debut from Ulf Ceder. The Finnish qualifier wins 6-2 against the former world champion Steve Beaton.